This show contains mature and intense subject matter, themes, and language. The opinions contained herein are for entertainment purposes and are not intended to offend, especially during Cards Against Humanity. All of you who choose to continue, you have been warned, and welcome back. No, yes. Whoa. What is that? What's
Put that away, dude.
All of our paranormal pals, friends of the family.
I have to tell you guys, that was a very good intro, but why no love for Tom?
What's up? Here's Tom.
Yeah.
Take it away, Tom.
Oh, him, that guy over there. Wait, over there. Over here. Jeez, I can't.
Yes, you can't get it either.
He's in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah.
Yep.
I get enough love from these guys.
I didn't see any love for him on the intro.
Oh, he's around.
I'm the brains behind the intro. So
where's Amy? Yeah, where's Amy for that one? Oh,
we know who the brains is.
No, Amy's all the music. I do all the putting together, and these guys make the show. These guys are the ones that actually make the show successful. So,
well, I know how you feel. I used to go to these conventions, and they'd introduce my group, right? And they'd go, and now introducing Kane Hodder, Jason Voorhees,
yeah,
and Ari Mihailov, Leatherface, and Rick.
And then there's Rick. He does stuff too.
And Rick, he does some stuff. We don't know what it
is. You've seen him in movies, probably from the back and taking a fall somewhere.
Yeah.
And with that, for anybody who doesn't know, this is the wonderfully talented and amazingly funny Rick McCallum. He is stuntman extraordinaire. He is also a third of Hollywood Ghost Hunters. He is an accomplished author and just a wonderful human being. So I want to say welcome back, Rick. Thank you so much for doing this again.
Yeah, definitely awesome.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It was fun last time, so why not do it again?
That's well, you obviously don't learn. So this is awesome.
I was in the little room when I was in school.
You were. I took the short bus. So
I was in a room below that. They just put me in a little room and left.
Oh, it's just you. Oh, it's just you.
In the closet.
He's like in the janitor's closet, and they have like a mop going across it so he can't get out.
It was fun in there.
Yeah, I'm sure. There's plenty of cool people to talk to and invent in your head.
I hooked up Wi-Fi in there. They never knew it.
Hooked up Wi-Fi. What? So Rick is a very accomplished individual. He's a very cool dude, and I'm very happy he is back to do the show today. They decided to let me be in charge because I'm a big fan of Rick's and a lot of the stuff that Rick does. So thank you, Tom, and everybody for letting me do this. As far as show dedications go, I want to dedicate this show to Tom and Amy, actually, for giving us all, I know we've done it before, but really hits home. We're coming up on the 2-year anniversary on Halloween for the show.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for giving us all a wonderful place to come and get all our shit out at the end of the week, and just for a really fun family experience that I wouldn't trade for the world. I wouldn't have met a lot of the people that I've met through without Tom and Amy. So
I appreciate it, bro. Like, this is a
highlight
for you, week, and this show would not be the show it is without you guys, obviously, on the panel, and then obviously everybody in the chat as well. Like, this is, I think, everybody, it's something that we need at the end of the week after you've had a shit freaking week and you just want to just have a blowout and just have a laugh.
Can I make a dedication as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Dave's birthday tomorrow, so happy
birthday!
We're doing birthday shout outs?
Yeah,
we were.
All right. Today is Olivia's birthday.
Shout out to Olivia.
Today, yeah.
Jesus. All right.
Anybody else's?
Yeah, Rick, what about you?
Rick's birthday?
Rick, is your birthday?
I
21
don't know
again?
when my birthday is because actually I was just a baby when I was born, so I don't remember it.
Right, you can't remember, right? Okay.
Mine's in the middle of December. Actually, I was a December baby.
Oh,
birthday
jeez.
December.
We'll hit you up. We'll do like a cameo for you where all of us will just do a video happy birthday to you. It'll be the best thing ever.
There you go.
By the way, Tom, where's your accent from?
Hey, me?
Yeah.
What is your accent from?
I'm a bit of a mix, so I'm like Northern English. It's kind of, yes. I was born in Lincoln, which is about Midlands to the north of England. I've bounced around. I've lived down south, I was in the army 6 years, so I've picked up accents and phrases from different backgrounds. So I've got a strong mix. Whereas Kerry, like she's Somersetshire, she's very southern, more of a southern accent to her. I didn't even know I had an accent.
But yeah, I'm in Somerset now.
No, I've gone ghost hunting in England, and the accent sounded kind of familiar.
Okay. Whereabouts have you been? Where have you?
Well, the two places that I went were the Norwich Theatre, which was in Yorkshire, or just out. It was actually Liverpool, and then we went to Yorkshire to a place called Bolton Abbey, which is both of those places are freaky haunted. Both of them.
Yeah, massively.
Especially Bolton Abbey.
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote about that in my first book because it's the first time I ever saw anybody get knocked out on a ghost hunt.
Holy shit.
To where we had to revive him and everything else. It was intense. I was explaining that to somebody at the Paracon the other day, and they said, what's the difference between, because I go to Scotland every year for a month, and I tell them, they say, what is the difference? I said, the intensity. I said, we have stuff here, but over there, they got stuff. I said, it's so much more intense in Scotland and England and Ireland than it is over here.
Yeah, definitely. I think some places here, I mean, like, I think as well, when places get investigated a lot, and they have been for, some places been investigated for hundreds of years, like from the paranormal over here. And I think that is built, and it just keeps building and building and building. Like you say, there's some places you can go that it may not seem that active, but like I say, that intensity, when it gets going, it can really knock you for six. Oh, hello.
Actually, at the Norwich Theatre, I saw, and Mandy, this girl who is the head of Anubis Paranormal, that is in Liverpool, we both saw a full body apparition, not 5 feet from me.
Holy shit!
So, yeah, that's kind of an eye opener. What the hell?
There's one here.
Hey, hi, Amy.
Amy's back.
Hello.
Rick, when you saw that in front of you that close, was it transparent or was it like smoke?
No, it wasn't. It was actually just like a person standing there in the dark.
Really?
And it was where we were in Norwich Theatre. We had gone downstairs, and this is a theater, not a movie theater, right?
Right.
And they had a big pipe about that big around that went across the room, so you couldn't go on the side that had the drapes and the electricity and stuff. And it had about a 10-foot empty space. And I went right up to the pipe, and had my leg on it. I'm looking around, and I look back this way, and I see somebody, and it looked like it was sideways. It was profile. It looked like somebody either looking at their phone or looking at a K2 meter. So I looked over there, and he's on the other side of the thing, and I don't want him to get in trouble, so I turn around to say something to Mandy, and Mandy's eyes are real big, and I turn right back around, and there's nobody there. And then she just said to me, she goes, "You saw him too, didn't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I sure did." So
that's crazy.
Yeah, and he no more than 5 feet. I could have reached out and touched him on top of his head.
Wow.
He probably wouldn't have liked that though.
Maybe he's a fan of your work.
Yeah, maybe.
And nobody knows my work. I keep a low profile.
Did it though because they say a lot of people when they see like spirit, they almost freeze, like you don't know what to say or do, or I suppose with your career, I suppose it's like fear is kind of out of the question, isn't it?
It's funny. Everybody goes real macho. I'm not afraid of anything. The only thing that scare me are snakes and girls.
Nice.
Not that there's a correlation between the two of them. No, but I used to say, I was always afraid of anybody with breasts, and that came from the real heavyset guy down at the beach, following me around. But
that was me. Sorry, Rick. I love that too. What do you want? Your balls are on the tree. That was great.
The what?
Hatchet too. You didn't, man. Watch a horror movie, Tom.
I know I need to watch a horror movie. Rick, I don't watch horror movies. So when Hefty says these things, I have no idea what he's on about.
You want to know something? I don't watch them either.
Yeah.
No, you're just in them.
Really?
Well, I've been in, I think, over 30 of them.
Right.
So,
so if you've been there, you've seen how it's made and you're part of it, then there's no sense in watching it. You watched it for the whole production.
Yeah, but I've recorded albums before, and we go back and listen to them.
Yeah, excuse me, Amy. Did you ask me a question?
No, I was just asking what films have you been in? My mum wanted to know.
Oh, geez. I've been in about 75 different movies and TV shows.
It's crazy.
Wow.
And things like that. The horror movies, I was in all 4 of the Hatchet movies. I played the monster in Deep Star 6. I played the werewolf in Dark Wolf. I got famously killed in Project Metal Beast. I mean, I've been in a lot of horror movies. I mean, I played three horror characters in the same movie. That was Fallen Angels we did at Mansfield Reformatory, which is very haunted. So, I mean, I've just been in a lot of them. Usually I just show up. I did one, which was actually pretty cool, called Charlie's Farm in Australia. And that was a pretty good movie. Did another
That's
one
the one that I was looking at. I got to check out recently because you posted or somebody posted on Facebook, and I was like, I haven't seen that, but I really want to see that.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie, actually.
And you were also, correct me if I'm wrong, you were Sid Haig's stunt double in The Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, I did that too.
I'm not
Yeah,
more familiar with the Hatchet.
You know the Hatchet ones.
I know the Hatchet ones. Yeah, I've watched them. Have you been in Freddy Krueger at all?
I've never been in his. By the way, if you saw all the Hatchet movies, I am the guy who got chainsawed in half.
Oh, okay.
And his balls were stuck to a tree.
Dude,
That's what I was talking about.
That's quite fucked
Oh
up.
no, I got your reference.
Well, actually, we had the premiere for Hatchet 2, which is the one where I get chainsawed in half. It's not just me. There's another actor, Colton Dunn, who's behind me. We're both on the chainsaw, and Kane lifts us up and the chainsaw goes this way, and we go, bloop. But Adam, the director, had a little surprise for me when I went to the Egyptian Theater. The place is packed for the premiere, and I'm sitting up in the balcony. And here comes a thing where, we're out there hunting him down, and all of a sudden here comes a chainsaw. And, he's coming up, and I play an actual hunter, and Colton's like the comic element. And he's hiding and shooting into the trees. He's not shooting anywhere. And I'm blasting away, and I'm hitting Kane. Boom, boom. You can see the holes coming, and he just keeps coming. And then my gun jams, and he just goes zoop, and lifts us up and saws us in half. Well, the scene comes on, and I'm watching it. I notice people turning around and looking at me like, well, wait a minute, that's that guy, right? So I'm watching it, and as this chainsaw hits me in the crotch and goes up, these 2 balls start falling on each side, like on rubber bands, and I'm like, right? I didn't know that was in there. They put it in post-production. And I'm watching, and as soon as you see it start like that, the place goes crazy, screaming. And every time he goes a little farther up, they drop farther, and then finally goes, and they fall off. And the place
no.
And I'm just sitting there, and I'm going, oh, great. I'm going to be, known in Hollywood as the guy who got his balls cut off.
And you know what's funny? Is I really enjoyed your character in that, just because you were one of those like Silent Bob types where you didn't say much.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't say much as anything, but you can tell that like still waters ran deep. And I very much, I liked that character an awful lot. And this was a question that my friend Danny has, that we actually, the first time we had you on, we were a little confused about. There's another Rick McCallum spelled the same way, but he is attached to the Star Wars franchise. And no, Danny, he is not the same Rick McCallum that is attached to the Star Wars films, but a noted celebrity nonetheless.
Well, I got to tell you, I wish I had his residual checks. That's for sure.
I mean, you still get like 40 cents, right?
Yeah, that's the big ones nowadays. 40 cents.
Is there a horror movie that you wish that you could have been in?
There's several that I should have been in, actually. I won't say what they are, but there were chances where I would have had the chance to play the lead in some very iconic horror movies.
Okay.
Oh, wait, can you tell us off air?
Huh?
Can you tell me off air?
Yeah, off air, I'll tell you, as long as you don't spread it around.
No, I won't say anything. No, I promise I won't say anything.
I suppose though in the industry is very cutthroat. Like who gets it and who doesn't.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's fortunately I've gotten into quite a few things. I mean, I was the stunt coordinator for the Friday the 13th game. I also did a thing with Adam Green, a short video for the LA Comic-Con And believe it or not, it was the Star Wars challenge. Right? Right? And when my name came up in the credits, they all went crazy.
Yeah, because they went apeshit.
They thought it was the other dude, right?
And you're like, hey guys, and they're like, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah, no, I wasn't there. I wasn't there when they showed it. But what was really cool was that it won Best Action and Best Movie at the Comic-Con. And then I also was able to stunt coordinate one of the Walking Dead webisodes. And that episode won the Streamy Award. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
But that's some pretty good people there. Greg Nicotero, who I've known for like 25 years. You know.
Have you ever met Savini?
Huh?
Have you ever met Savini?
Yes.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Well, I went up and talked to him at FairCon. I told him, I said, hey, I'm setting up all the stunts that you created for the Friday the 13th video game. And he nodded at me and I left.
Fucking great.
What do you think to new horror movies that are currently out there, like Saw, things like that?
I don't like them.
No.
I don't like seeing people getting hurt. You know, I mean, just now, like Hatchet, everybody gets hurt.
Yeah.
But Adam Green makes it fun. I mean, it's obviously things are going, you know, it's so over the top that it's really fun to watch. And it's more fun to watch when you're there because Adam Green, the director, and he wrote all of them too. Whenever he would get a shot that he would like, he'd jump up and down and cheer. I mean, you know, he's a good guy to work for because instead of being all grumpy and stuff, he's always happy because when he gets something good, you know, he's real happy.
I think a lot of that too, Rick, is that he was a fan that just started making, you know, movies. You know, he was a very big fan of the genre, and that kind of bled over into his directorial or directing style, and just his overall exuberance towards the genre and stuff like that. I think that has a lot to do with it too. But yeah, I'm a again huge horror guy, so I could be wrong. You would know better.
Don't you find that like horror movies, like obviously when the ones that you were in, they're like the old school classic horror movies. Now they've gone more like sadistic. It has to be almost like nowadays it has to be sadistic and twisted to make it a horror movie. There's no classic horror anymore. It's more of
I don't like the sadistic part. I really don't. That's why I don't watch it.
I'm like that.
There is a movie that Kane and God, I forget Bill
Mosley.
Yeah, Bill Mosley. Thank you. Did in called Old 37, and it's got a lot of pretty interesting things in it. So that's a pretty good thing. And actually, one scene in there where one acting scene with Kane is phenomenal. I mean, you'd have to.
He's a very good actor, and I think a lot of people don't realize that because usually he's buried underneath 20 pounds of foam, rubber, latex, and stuff like that. But his acting chops are really good. Well, he's a very talented individual.
You know, I've had to play characters that didn't talk. You know what I mean? In monster suits and things like that. And to be able to get the emotion without talking, right, or using your facial muscles or anything like that, is extraordinarily hard. And I don't think anybody does it better than Kane. Mm-hmm. I mean, when Kane came up with the, I mean, it showed you that he was human, you know, of a sort.
Yeah.
I was talking about real life now.
Yeah. If you ask him during a picture op to choke him, he's gonna choke the shit out of you.
Not anymore.
He doesn't do it anymore.
He doesn't do it anymore.
Really?
Yeah. You'll have to ask him why, but
I don't like Kane would never talk to me. I'm shocked I got you to talk to me. Women don't talk to me.
I've known him for 40 years. I don't know why he talks to me.
Because at this point, I think you're a vested interest.
I'm not a big fan of like the psychological kind of horrors, like Grudge, or ones that are kind of from like true events, like your Wolf Creek. I find they're quite sadistic and they play with your mind. They're the ones I don't like. Whereas I don't mind things like Saw because it is just rubber and latex. It's not real. It's just, you know.
But they make it so realistic is the problem.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
it's very hard to determine the difference.
You know what I think of the kind of movies that I like that have, it's got not horror in it, but it's got a lot of violence in it. but was taken.
Oh, Taken
Yeah.
was awesome.
And,
Yeah, that was a
and,
really good
you know,
movie.
there was a reason for him, you know, ripping people to shreds. You know, that
Yeah.
I don't mind it then, but you know, when you just, you know, chopping people up for, you know,
No
effect,
reason. Yeah.
I don't like it.
So did you?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: Rick, did you just look at those opportunities as basically just a paycheck? Because
No.
this is crazy to me. It wasn't just like you gave it your all. I'm assuming, but I mean, as far as the material involved, did you kind of distance yourself from it just because you don't like that kind of stuff, or
No.
really?
It's totally different when you're on the set.
Okay,
Because you're seeing all the prosthetics, you're seeing everything being built. You know the actors, you know what's going on, and it doesn't bother me. But when I go to a movie that I don't know, and all of a sudden they're like cutting someone's spleen out because they need something for a scene, to me that's not very imaginative, and it's not very interesting. You know,
Yeah.
that's like I say, like with Taken, you never knew what was going to happen, but you knew somebody was going to get it.
yeah, it sucked. It's gonna suck. Someone's got to get it.
Well, I'll tell you a movie that you guys that I really like that almost nobody's ever seen. It's called Peppermint, and I believe it was Jennifer Garner. And these gangbangers kill her daughter and her husband on the little girl's birthday. And she was supposed to have a big party, but the rich lady decided to throw a party, and nobody came to the little girl's party. So the father and mother took her to the carnival. And while she's getting stuff, these gangbangers go by and kill both of them, and she sees them. And it's a really good movie because what happens after that?
What's it called? Peppermint?
Peppermint.
Yeah.
No, I've not seen Peppermint, but it kind of like it sounds like kind of like the what do you call it? Like Get Revenge kind of movies. Like you.
Yeah, but everyone likes them, doesn't it? Because it's like you say, it's the
I spit on your grave and things.
yeah,
like that.
it's
The Revenge.
deserved. Like
Well, let's just put it this way: she leaves no stone unturned.
Oh man.
You know, and I mean,
that's gonna be watching that.
no, it's really, I really enjoyed it. You know, but you know, I like strange movies. I mean, that aren't mainstream. Like one of my favorite movies was Streets of Fire, and I don't know if anybody ever saw that.
I'm adding it to my list. Hold on.
Yeah, no. It's called A Rock and Roll Fable. It's got Willem Dafoe.
Oh, I love Willem Dafoe.
He's the bad guy. Diane Lane, Michael Pare. It's actually Rick Moranis is in it. It's a very, very good movie.
Really?
Oh, Rick
Yeah.
Moranis.
All action.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I have to check into that.
Willem Dafoe plays the leader of a big biker gang in a real burned out kind of town. And it's called A Rock and Roll Fable. You don't know when the time period is. There's old cars, there's new cars. You just don't know. Right? It looks like it's older times. But Willem Dafoe steals Diane Lane while she's giving a benefit performance. And one of the girls there calls up, Tom sends a message to Michael Pare and says, somebody just stole Ellen. And he comes back, it's his old girlfriend, and he wreaks havoc on the entire city.
All right.
Yeah.
So go watch these movies, everybody. That Rick is. We should just have a show on Rick recommends. It'll
Yeah,
be Rick
Rick
recommends, and it's just Rick's favorite movies that he really likes. And
Well,
nobody's
you know,
heard.
I've
should
got
have a
weird
show on how to
taste.
say that.
I mean, my two favorite movies are Jeremiah Johnson is one of them, and All That Jazz is the second. So
Haven't heard of either one, brother. I'm sorry.
you never heard of Jeremiah Johnson?
No.
It's
Probably
ironic.
Probably one of the best action movies. It's based on a real event. It stars Robert Redford,
Ooh.
and he's a mountain man, and nobody knows why.
Oh, I'm sorry. My old man loves those movies. He said two great movies.
Two
Okay,
great
so
movies,
my old man's heard of it. That's cool.
Yeah, Jeremiah Johnson's my favorite movie. Well, actually, it's not. My very favorite movie is The Quiet Man with John Wayne.
I think I've seen that one.
I've seen that a long time ago. I'm sure.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Mine's the Goonies.
I do love the Goonies.
Treasure
Yeah.
Goonies guy.
Dewey actually just turned me on to one that is not horror, but I thought it was a very short, very sweet, and very simple independent film. It reminded me almost of a Tenacious D based out of New York guys. They're a real band. They're called Future Folk. and it's these two guys. One plays the banjo and one plays the guitar, and they have this whole like space themed. They're aliens from another planet, but like it's on Netflix. It's called The History of Future Folk. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. It's a very sweet movie. Again, one of those ones that nobody's ever heard of. My brother too, he turned me onto that, and then everybody in my family got turned on to it. But I absolutely recommend that if you guys like kind of non-mainstream movies and stuff like that. It was very fantastic. They're very talented.
I'll tell you one that has a little bit of paranormal in it. And it's a really, really good movie that I worked on. And it's got two names. It's either Forever Together or Can't Be Heaven. And it's got Ralph Macchio. It's got Diane Ladd, Gary Marshall. It's got a great cast. And Michelle Trachtenberg when she was a little kid. Kaylee Kiyoko when she was 14. She's in it.
Wow.
But it's actually a really, really cool movie if you watch it. And it's not blood and guts or anything else. It's about the coming of age of young people. The boy loves the girl. He doesn't know how to do it, and he hears saxophone music from a graveyard that he cuts through. And he sees this guy sitting on one of the stones dressed in white, and he's playing the saxophone. And he says, "Hey, I play the saxophone too." So the older guy's showing him some stuff. And he says, "Well, what are you doing?" He says, "I'm just waiting for a friend." Right. So he comes through there every day, and he learns how to play the sax. And he plays it at the school function, and the girl falls for him and the whole deal. But you have to see the whole thing because it's got a very big surprise at the end.
No.
Okay. I like that.
We'll have to find that one. One question.
It's a really sweet movie. You can watch it with your kids. It's
it's an easy watcher sort of thing. It's like it's one of them you just sit back and just chill out and just watch it.
It was funny though. There's a fight between the two of the kids, and I was the stunt coordinator. And the producer comes up and he goes, "Okay, we want a fight scene here, but I don't want any punching, kicking, or wrestling or anything like that." And I said, "Well, what are they going to do? Just call each other names then, or what?"
Each other.
Shadow box.
Do some Stooges, woo. All right, ask me something paranormal. I'm excited.
Yes. So actually, that's what I wanted to get to. Now, you had mentioned something going on that I'm actually really excited to watch on November 12th. Would you care to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I actually was over in Scotland, and was doing a tour, and we went to some fantastic places. And I happen to be a member of Scottish Paranormal. And, they always hook me up with really good places. And one of the places that I've gone a lot of times is Balgony Castle. And I got to be good friends with the laird of the castle. And we went over there to film, some of the adventures in there. And on November 12th on the Dark Zone TV, it's actually on Facebook. You can get to it. It's going to be like a 3-hour question and answer and showing videos from it. And the video from the Balgony Chapel is amazing. And the people that were doing the filming, were some of the originators of Ghost Hunters. So, the one guy filming too, he was actually the producer and director of Ghost Mine. They're as credited in the paranormal as anybody can be, these people. And they're really nice too, which is surprising.
Well, I think that's one of the things you and I were talking about on the phone yesterday too. Is just about nice people in general and real people in general.
Yeah.
So that is nice to see.
It doesn't cost any more to be nice.
No, it doesn't.
Exactly.
But yeah, if you get a chance to see that, it will be well worth seeing.
November the 12th. You say
November the 12th on the Dark Zone TV. And I think it's going to be at 5:00 my time.
Yeah, so it's 8:00 Eastern, Eastern Daylight Time. So that would be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 in the morning for you guys over in the UK.
I'll catch up. Because I'll probably be at friggin' work next day.
Well, it'll probably end up being on archive also. So
yes.
I'll definitely catch it or not. Marty, would you gonna say?
It's funny, my friends from Scotland will call me sometimes and I'll go, "Dude, 3 in the morning."
I don't know what's going on with that light.
No, do you and Kane and RA still hunt together?
We will, but we haven't for quite a while because first off, Kane's extraordinarily busy and with the conventions and the movies he's doing. And when we first started, we all lived right here. Now they moved to 2 other states. RA lives in Pennsylvania and Kane moved to another state. So it's very hard to get us all together. But it's actually hard to catch up with me too, because I'm always somewhere. I mean, I'm in Scotland, Ireland, England, you know, they're out there and I'm going to go find them.
You better.
You know? Matter of fact, that's the name of my next book, by the way. The spirits are out there and they're waiting for you.
You know, what a great segue. Would you like to talk about your new book?
Well, you know what? I have done things before, you know, and I know how to lead somebody.
I'm saying, no, you know what, Rick? All you, bro. I'm good. You just talk, bro. You talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah.
No, the new book is a lot about, you know, the first book you guys might not know is called Ghosts Believe in Me.
Yep.
And fortunately, it won the Paranormal Book of the Year award. So I was surprised. I was on a show like this, and somebody said, "Congratulations on the book." And I went, "Oh, thanks," because that's what they say when you write a book. You know, most people are surprised that I can even read a book. Most of them, right? So I said, "Thanks," and they go, "No, that was a great award." And I went, "What?" They said, "Well, you won the Paranormal Book of the Year award." And I went, "I did?"
Oh, so you didn't even know.
No, I had no clue. I had no clue. I wish, you know,
You'd have thought that.
should have got a certificate or something.
I was gonna say,
Maybe a letter in the mail or something.
Yeah, a little something on Facebook, you know.
We'll
Just
print you one off. Don't worry, Rick.
Yeah, we'll send you one. We'll send you a certificate.
I can make it.
yeah, there we go. I'll take it.
One thing I wanted to ask you though about is I watched a lot of like ghost adventures and stuff, and obviously you guys work with them. You investigated the place with the Chinese people who got slaughtered. What was it like actually there
a lot of
and
people,
working?
the Chinese people got slaughtered, but a lot of the Anglos and the Mexicans died too. And I say Mexicans because they were actually from Mexico, right? And that's at that time there were probably more Mexican citizens there in that part of the thing than there were, you know, white people. So, but yeah, they did have a huge brawl out there. I tell you. After we were on Ghost Adventures, about a year later, I got a call from somebody, and they said, "Would you guys be interested in come ghost hunting with our group at the Pico House," which is the one we did.
Pico House, I said, yeah.
And I said, "Well, Kane's out of town, but me and RA will come." And when I was downstairs with Nick Groff, I was getting nonstop answers to the K2. I mean, intelligent answers. And when I went back, we were all downstairs and I had an epiphany. It was really cool. Something you guys, if you go ghost hunting, you might want to try sometimes if you haven't already. I was asking, you know, questions and nothing, flatline. And then it dawned on me. I was like, a lot of these people who died might not speak English, right? Yeah. So I turned around and I said, "Does anybody here speak Spanish?" Because I was pretty sure nobody there spoke Chinese, seeing as there's like 500 dialects of Chinese. I mean,
right.
Chinese don't understand most of them.
Yeah.
But I just said, "Anybody here speak Spanish?" And this girl said, "I do." I said, "Would you do me a favor? After I ask a question, wait 10 seconds and ask the same question in Spanish." As soon as we started doing that, bam, 5 lights, 5 lights, 5 lights. So if you ever go to a place, you know, where there's other languages, see if you can bring somebody with you that speaks it.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I never thought of it like that. I always kind of, I guess, narrow-mindedly figured that once you pass, like,
everybody.
I don't know. I don't know. Fuck, man.
No, you're right, dude. Relax. No, you're right.
You never know.
Calm down, Adam. You're gonna have a coronary.
Right.
Man, I got Marty and Rick on.
Dude, slow down before you blow your pacemaker. Relax.
Oh, fuck off, ballbuster.
Come on, Kerry.
Rick. When you did
give him that punch again you threw before. Let him have it. Oh, look at that. Little Sugar Ray Leonard series backhand for you. No, I'll go back to the second book. The second book has a lot of more things that are in Scotland and Ireland and things like that. And it's actually turning out pretty well. It should come out like middle of November, maybe a little later.
Okay, so just in time for the holidays then.
Yeah.
We'll probably get it. Is it being just released stateside for now? Is it or?
No, it's actually going to be the first one too. Is available in the UK too. It's on Amazon and Amazon UK. So
Okay.
Ooh,
Nice.
Me and Kerry will be looking at that definitely.
we
I
will.
guarantee you there'll be stuff in there that'll make you go, "What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?" And if you
So
know
good.
me, I never embellish about this stuff. I mean, there's no fakery in there at all. And what I did in my book, this is something I think everybody should when it's about the paranormal. If somebody else was there when something happened, I let them put their version in the book too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's really cool.
So
That's awesome.
and I'll tell you why I did that. There was at the Hellfire Club in Dublin. I was invited by Scottish Paranormal, and we went over there and walked up to the front. Now, one of my relatives was one of the original members of the Hellfire Club, right? Which is one reason I really wanted to go. Well, they had a Frank's box, and I'm sure you guys all know what that is. It's like the spirit box on steroids. And a guy and a girl were up there, and they're trying to get some responses, and they weren't. So I just walked up. I said, "Can I try?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said, "Hi, my name is Rick. I came from the United States to say hi to my relative, John Wilkes." Right? And then it said a couple words like lint, elbow, macaroni, that made no sense.
Yeah.
And then it went, "Relative?" And I mean, both of them looked up and went, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, my name's Rick. I just came to say hi." And it goes, "Hi, Rick." Right? And now they're freaked out, right? So I said, "Okay, now I'm going to have to," I said, "I think I'm talking to John Wilkes." I said, "I have to ask this question because this will tell me if you're really related to me. Did you really turn a baboon dressed like Satan up into the Hellfire Club?" Right? And it said a couple words, and it went, "Baboon." And I mean, their jaws just dropped. I turned around. I said, "This has got to be the best piece of audio ever."
Oh, wow.
And they looked. They said, "Oh, we weren't recording." I was like,
What?
Always record.
"Yeah." And
Oh.
that's when I asked the girls. I said, "Did you hear all that stuff?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Would you write down your version of what happened?" And that's how I started putting things in, for other people. So I still do it in all the books. There's only my second book, but it'll be in here too.
I think that's a solid way to do it. I think that's a very solid way to do it. And I do have one pressing question, Rick, that I apologize for not asking already, but I know that myself and a lot of the people at home want to know too, is how did you make out with your oil change on your car yesterday?
What?
Drove over there and they had a line waiting to get in, so I left.
So you still need your oil changed. Okay.
I still need more oil change. But you know what? I don't drive that much. I really don't. If it's less than 5 mile round trip, I walk.
Right on. Which actually brings me to another thing. You're looking forward to going to Scotland for some sort of lengthy walk next year, yes?
Oh, yeah. There's a place there called the West Highland Way, which is 96 miles. And you don't have to do it in one day.
Right, yeah.
You're in good shape if you can.
But the segments are, the first two are 12 miles and 15 miles, and then there's another one that's 19 miles, and it goes up into the hills into the highlands. Okay.
I'm up. God.
No, it's actually my phone,
No, I know.
and I wanted to be able to hear it. It's funny when it goes off like at the deli or something. Everybody turns around and starts laughing. And I said, "What are you laughing about? The cavalry's coming."
Yeah, they're coming to
don't laugh.
save my hunger.
Yeah. So now what were we talking about before we were so rudely interrupted?
We were talking about how awesome you don't have to do all 96 miles in one day, but you can break it up.
Yeah, it's I've had 5 knee operations and I need a knee replacement. So I think that's going to be a major challenge, and I like that.
Yeah.
So I've been walking. I walked 11 miles the other day, just trying to get ready for it for next year.
Is that something you're going to visually document, or are you going to write about it, or is that just a personal thing where you want to do this for you and you don't need any kind of...
Well, I know the first sentence is going to be after the first day, "Oh, fuck, what was I thinking?"
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Where's the hot tub?
Yeah, hot tub.
But no, it's just...
Can't rub my feet.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's one of the most beautiful walks in the world. A lot of people don't realize Scotland was voted the most beautiful country in the world. And
Yeah, I used to
when
live in
you start
Edinburgh.
walking out into the wilderness and up into the highlands, I mean, it's amazing.
It is
So,
gorgeous there.
Yeah, she lived in Edinburgh for 2 years.
2 years, yeah, I lived in Edinburgh.
With the
Yeah.
my dad was in the military, so
Yeah, it's
No.
it'll be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, I will definitely document it because about halfway through, if I die, I want people to see where I've been.
Or where you are. Yeah. Yeah. Make
Find
sure,
it.
make sure you leave your Find My Phone app on.
Yeah, come rescue me.
Yeah. Help a brother out.
Well, you know what? I had something happened in Scotland on a ghost hunt when I was out looking at some ground to see if I could come back at night. And I was walking through the forest and I hit a patch of mud and I fell and my leg got caught underneath me and I just blew up my leg. I mean, I thought I broke it. I tore the knee to shreds. That's why I need a knee replacement.
Shit.
And my leg got stuck behind me as I slid down the hill, which really helped.
Oh,
So finally, I was able to pull my leg out. It spasmed for like 5 minutes before I could get up, and I couldn't walk on it at all. And I turned around and looked at the hill, and said, "Well, I'm not going back up that. It's muddy, and I ain't making it up with one leg." So I looked around. There was this muddy trail, but actually, it was like the cars had been there, and it was actually a farm that I had come into. So I said, "Well, I got to go that way because I can't go that way." So it was about 2.5 mile walk through the mud. And then when I got to the aluminum cattle gates and to climb over with muddy shoes and one leg, that was interesting.
oh my God.
But what was really cool is I found a street. There was a whole bunch of houses and I was walking along. Jeez, what is going on here?
It's not me, Rick. I'm
Now
not
it's the
calling
house
you.
phone.
I promise.
This ain't me this week.
yeah.
Somehow I don't ever pick up the one that says spam risk. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Probably not a good idea.
I think it's an old girlfriend. I'm kind of worried about it.
That's her name. Spam.
But what
risk.
was so funny is I'm walking down the street and I'm limping horribly. I mean, I hurt your leg as bad as you can, right?
Oh.
And I finally see a guy in the window and he's washing his dishes. So I stand outside his window and said, "Excuse me." And the guy looks up and I'm covered in mud and he sees me limping over towards the thing. And I said, "Can you tell me if I keep going this way, can I catch the bus back to Roslyn?" Because that's where I was staying, right next to the chapel. He goes, "You can, but it's a ways." And I said, "Okay." And he goes, "What happened?" I said, "Well, I fell down and hurt my leg back there." And he goes, "Where?" And I said, "Back there." And he goes, "Dude, that's over 2 miles away." And I said, "Yeah, I know. Just walked it to get here." It's right. So he says, "Yeah." I said, "All right, well, thank you." And I'm walking off and I'm hoping he's not going to shoot me in the head because I look like one of the zombies from Walking Dead. Right? And a car pulls up and it's him. Right? And he looks at me and he goes, "Get in." Right? And I said, "Dude, I'm covered in mud." And he looks at me and he goes, "I work on a farm. Get in."
Yeah, fair
So
enough.
I look in the car. I was actually cleaner than the cars.
Right.
I was cleaner than the car.
But here's the funny part. His name was James Cameron. Right?
No shit.
So my friend told me, he goes, his name was James Cameron. He said, "Just imagine how the horror and sci-fi people would have been really upset if you guys got killed in a car accident."
Yeah, Rick.
Yeah, James Cameron and Rick McCallum. And he goes like this, he goes, "Yeah, they'd be upset for about 10 minutes till they realized it wasn't them."
Right.
But yeah, the guy, he drove me back to my hotel. So we talked ghost hunting on the way. So a couple of years later, when I was back and went over and knocked on his door, I said, "Come on, you're going ghost hunting with me. Let's go." So we went out and ghost hunted his whole farm where the Battle of Roslyn, 1303, took place, and 38,000 people brawled it out in that
Wow.
farm area, and about 34,000 of them died. And you know what? Didn't get a single hit on anything.
What?
Typical.
Which is cool because it was 700 years ago. So it's nice to know that they went where they were supposed to go.
Right.
Well,
yeah,
I
that's
guess that
true.
is comforting.
Matter of fact, when I was walking away, I just turned around and I said, "Rest in peace, gentlemen," and walked off.
Yeah.
So that
You
was
got to
a
give
pretty
respect. That is
Yeah.
really cool.
But that's crazy. It's crazy that the people you meet, like why you meet them, there's always a reason. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I make friends pretty easy, because I'm kind of like fungus. If you don't talk to me, I'll just wear you down. I'll cling on you until you just give up, right? So I have quite a few friends over in Scotland, especially.
yeah.
Matter of fact, I'll tell you the difference between Scottish people and American people. I got big-headed because I'd been there so many times. I knew the hotel people and everything else. And I got over there and I had 4 days planned out. I usually planned out my whole trip, but I thought, yeah, I could just go in. I get a hotel room anyway. And after the second day, I went out to Rosalind Chapel. There's a little guest house there. I always stay on the weekends because it's like half the price of in Edinburgh. And it's really cute. So I went up there and I see Amy coming out of her office. I said, Amy, can I get hooked up for the weekend? And usually they've got like 9 rooms, and I'm usually sometimes the only guest, right? So she goes, oh, I'm sorry, we're totally full. And I went, really? She goes, yeah. And she goes, you don't know what's going on, do you? And I said, well, that's very frequently the case. So she goes, no, the European Rugby Championships are on. She says, I was just on the master hotel room list. She says, there's not a room between Edinburgh and Glasgow. So I said, and I was like, uh-oh. Right. So I asked her, I said, can you think of anybody else? And she goes, well, there's another little down the way. Carolyn runs it. So I called her up. She goes, no, we're all full. And I went, ah, dang it. And she goes, what's the matter? I said, well, I saved up all year to come here for, 3 weeks to a month. I said, I've been here 2 days. It looks like 2 days from now, I'm going to have to get on a plane and go home. And she goes, let me call you back. So this woman who I've never met in person, right, calls me back and says, you may not want to do this, but my mom was going to England for 10 days and she said you could use her house.
Holy shit.
And I went, I've never met either one of you. Why would you let me use her house? I said, how much does she want for that? And she goes, oh, don't you offer her money? She'll get mad. And I'm like, I don't let my brother stay overnight. I mean, yeah, I mean, it was amazing. And now we're great friends. I mean, but I mean, that's just the difference. The people are so nice.
That's amazing.
I mean,
to Americans, they're not so nice to English people.
Well, no, we are so inundated with lawyers and everything else that people that would do that can't.
Yeah, we're a very litigious society over here. It fucking sucks. I'm nice to English people. Fuck you, Tom. What does that mean?
We find in England, or I don't know if you've seen it, Rick, but Scottish people, the majority of Scottish people don't like the English.
Yeah.
No, I was heavily bullied in school.
And he's heavily bullied. Kerry's had issues. I've had issues. Like when I worked up there, they just, as soon as they realise you're English, they don't want to know you.
Game over.
Yeah.
Shame.
It is a shame because a lot of people are very nice, and I'm sure there's a lot of genuinely nice people in Scotland.
No,
but
not. Most of them are horrible.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I will tell you something kind of interesting along the same lines. When I got to go to England and go to Norwich Theatre and Bolton Abbey, I was a guest of Anubis Paranormal, right, which is an English-based ghost hunting group. And the people who introduced me were Premier Paranormal from Scotland. So we go over there and we had these amazing ghost hunts. And a friend of mine ran the Real Mary King's Close. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but it's one of the big attractions in Edinburgh. You actually go down this big ramp down into where under the city where the older city is, and there's like actual buildings under there. So you can see it's really cool. Very, very haunted too. So a friend of mine was the manager, and he asked me, he goes, hey, why don't you get a group together and come ghost hunt here? Right, because he and I had ghost hunted the place by ourselves. And I said, I'm not going to pay what you charge me, you crook. Right? He goes, I don't charge you anything. I said, see how you are? So anyway, I called up my friends from Scottish Paranormal and had a couple of them come. I had the people from Premier Paranormal come, and I had 3 or 4 come from England, Anubis. And when they got there, I said, okay, here's what we're doing. We're having a para-unity hunt. I said, you hear about all these para-unities, and there's nothing para-unity about it. Right?
Yeah.
I said, here's what we do for the first half of this hunt. None of you can ghost hunt with any of your own teams.
That's beautiful. I love it. Get them out of the comfort zone.
Yeah. And at the end, the people came and said, when we were done there, said, wow, we got more activity than ever. And they said, this was so much fun watching how other people do things. And so it's actually a great hunt. I mean, we had more activity. Scottish Paranormal has been there many times. And Scottish Paranormal is one of the best ghost hunting groups in the world. And, they just said, man, we've never had this kind of activity. So it's pretty cool. But it was pretty cool that the para-unity actually really was para-unity.
Yeah, because we know a couple people in the industry that has proven not to be so. You're lending credibility to that thing where the para-unity is not always para-unity. and you know, it's very interesting. That it's like high school, like it's clicked up. You know what I mean? In a lot of ways, and that's not the majority from what I've seen. A majority of everybody. I mean, look at our chat. We have people from, you know, that watch all sorts of different shows and channels and stuff like that, and support us every week. But you know, it's and again, seeing it and heard it secondhand, but from very reliable sources, that it is absolutely 100% not always that way. And I guess that's the way it is in life throughout anything else. But I feel like something like this in the paranormal research, like that should be something that people are going to disagree. That's fine. But on such a cool subject and one where it's like, there's no set rules. It's like almost a lot of the stuff is like, you know, word of mouth and like techniques and equipment and different ways of doing things. I think that people should be a lot more open and sharing, and less worried about clicks, ratings, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, everybody's chasing the fame. Everybody wants the TV show. You know.
Yeah.
I've been offered TV shows.
Yeah.
You know, I did my time in the entertainment business. You know, I don't mind doing stuff, you know, like the live stream stuff. To me, that's interesting. You know, I don't really like doing ghost hunting stuff when people I don't know can edit it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why we try and like what we do. Like we couldn't easily, but if we wanted to, we could really
not that good.
No, we
Jesus.
could. No, someone asked me at work, it's like, oh, do you make money out of it? And I was like, no, I don't really want to. I'm not in it for that.
Bullshit.
I
Bullshit.
I used to when we started this.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Shut up.
There's a flag on the play.
Wait, Rick,
No,
this is where mom and dad fight for 10 minutes. This is great. You're gonna fucking love this one.
No, we could push it and like just try and get ratings and all this shit and
What we got alive.
like and I don't do it for that. Like, and I thought I'm gonna try and always keep it like that. Like when we put our footage on of what we do with the dolls and stuff like that, it's always the raw footage. I'll put it into a video, but the raw footage is raw footage. If you don't want to watch it or you don't believe it, that's up to you. I don't really care. Like, I'm doing it for the love of it and for the people that we meet through doing it, like these guys and the people in the chat and stuff. And that's what we love about doing it. I totally agree with like there's people out there that do it just for the fame and just for the views and to get the money out of it. And they, like you say, they edit it into a certain way that they pretty much, they fake it or whatever, just for a view. And it's sad, really, that they do that.
The problem is, though, is the paranormal's done so much now that you would be very hard to even be popular. The amount of groups that are out there is phenomenal.
Because the ones that are going to make money are pretty much there, and
that is their job.
And it's saturated. The market is saturated as far as the stuff goes too. Everybody's doing it, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but if you're in it for just the buck,
and I think that
the problem with fame becomes heartache, because yes, you've become famous. However, you've dedicated your life to that. You're now in the public eye. You have no space.
You've lost true friends, I think, because you have to.
Yeah, true friends and also your relationship.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rick? That's actually very interesting, as we have your expertise in being in the industry and being somewhat of a name. Do you agree with this sentiment? Do you think that any of this is not true?
Well, I will tell you, people are different. Some people act, with honor and integrity. Others don't. I get asked a lot about ghost adventures. And they say, you were on that show. Did they do anything funny? And I said, well, first off, let me tell you that Kane and I are both very wary of our reputations.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and we watched them like hawks. I said, and they didn't do anything that was not above board. But then the next question was, what would you do if you found somebody faking evidence on a ghost hunt? I said, simple answer. I'd ghost hunt them next time. Takes a little thinking to catch that one, but yeah.
No, I like that. That's pretty good.
I'll send Kerry after him to give him a quick series of backhands.
She's nasty. She beats me off camera, Rick. I've been meaning to tell you, but
you probably deserve it.
Yeah, fair. I love that. He knows me so well.
I have never met a girl I can beat up in a fair fight yet. Never. I remember that this one girlfriend I had, she was like 5'10" and about 120 pounds, right? And yeah, but she was in really good shape. But matter of fact, she was one of the girls that was in the Swedish bikini team commercials for Old Milwaukee. So I don't know if you saw those. The
Old Milwaukee.
Yeah, the beer.
Oh no, I'm very well aware of what it is. I'm like, whoo, Old Milwaukee. Now we're talking.
Well, I was teaching some people how to throw punches with the hand pads and stuff like that. And Lauren comes up, she goes, I want to learn. And she's a really good athlete. And I remember she popped down to the set one time when Kane and I were doing Deep Star 6. And we happened to be hitting the hand pads. And Kane looks at me and goes, here, Lauren, you try this. And he puts her hands up. She goes, pow! And Kane goes, holy shit! I've never seen a girl hit that hard. And Lauren says, yeah, Rick taught me. And I said, in retrospect, it might not have been the best idea.
Right. Yeah, right.
I had to go practice my bobbing and weaving after.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I would probably practice my bobbing and weaving, or just, just not get
I think
there.
females will fight more with a sharp stomach, put it that way.
Yes.
See, when you get to my age, you just lay down in the fetal position, hope they take mercy on you.
Yeah, I do that. That's always been my style of fighting. It's like, yeah, get it maybe one or two good shots, and it's like, I'm telling my mom.
That makes a female more angry, though, the fact that you're just giving in like that, though.
Well,
Do you want me to fight back?
Yeah, here in the Beverly Hills area, there's a big problem in the Beverly Hills area for the kids in grammar school because the kids will go, I'm telling my dad. And the other kid goes, your dad is my dad. So it's
that's
different.
probably true.
It's 100% true.
Beverly Hills problems.
Yeah.
Wow. You've probably been asked this a million times, Rick, and I just want to ask this real quick. So without sounding too derivative, like what's the craziest, or in your personal experience, what's your favorite hunt you've ever gone on? I mean, it's probably not easy to choose one, but what is one in particular that stands out in your mind more than the others? You know what I mean? Not because I'm sure you get asked that a million times, and now it's 1,000,001, but here we are.
Well, just for the sheer intensity of the activity and everything that happened would be Bolton Abbey in England. The next one would be from the Hellfire Club to Lep Castle in Ireland. And I'll just, I'll let you guys read the book because me trying to explain the whole thing is hard, except for let me just say that I almost died at Lep Castle to the point where, and it was from an attachment, to the point where the Scottish paranormal people ran into the laird of the Lord of the Manor. That's laird in Scotland. It's Lord in Ireland. They went in the Lord of the Manor and said, how fast can you get an ambulance here? And they said, why? And they said, because we think Rick is dying. And Rick was out in the car and he was positive he was dying. But to explain everything that happened, it would take too long. And but I think you can, you ever run across a copy of the book, it's the last story.
Definitely.
Make sure to buy that on Amazon. That one and the next one, Ghosts Believe in Me by Mr. Rick McCallum. Go buy it.
And trust me, it's everybody that reads it, it's just like, holy crap, that really happened. I said, read the other people's what they saw.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good way of doing that.
Yeah, it's and I don't think it was intentional by the spirit that attached to me. I think it was just trying to show me what had happened to him.
Ooh.
And I was seeing it, feeling it in spades. So,
Shit. Okay.
That would be the two best. Just for the sheer ghost hunting. My favorite place to ghost hunt is Balgony Castle because of the laird of the manor. However, the laird just passed away the last month. So
Condolences.
Yeah.
But he was 93 years old.
Oh, he had a good run.
Yeah,
he was ready. He was such a fascinating man. He was a woodworker and all this other stuff that when he was younger, like 5-6 years ago, he had built his own coffin. And
crazy.
And he painted on the side of it the year he was born and the current year, so that if he passed away, all they had to do was drop him in it. I mean, he was just that cool,
What was that?
Yeah, what was that high pitched noise?
Dishwasher.
You're a dishwasher, Kerry.
Because I'm listening to everything that's going on. That light behind Tom and Amy has been really just mucking about, and it's out, and now we're hearing beeping sounds.
The beeping was my dishwasher.
We've had a few things.
Okay, at least we know what that is.
I mean, we've had no more movement with dolls or anything, but that I don't know what the hell is going with that.
Is it running your battery?
Yeah, new batteries. I don't know what the fuck's. It's now gone out. This morning, actually, when was it this morning or last night? I can't remember. But Amy went out in the bedroom somewhere, and I was laying there, and I swear to God, I didn't tell you yet. You don't know.
Oh, no.
But we've got a wooden headboard, and somebody knocked on the headboard twice, like as plain as fucking day, as if somebody had literally just like that. Yeah, right next to my fucking head.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, this stuff's happening. I don't know.
Why the 3 knows I don't know?
Because you want to select it, I told you.
Well, no, I would have.
But yeah, I couldn't wait. Like, I usually don't. I don't care, but I couldn't wait for Amy to get back in the room. Then I literally stayed there with my eyes like wide open. Like that freaked me out.
Did Amy call you a little bitch for being scared?
Well, she just found out now.
I didn't even know.
I mean,
I've
only told her now like that.
It'd be nice to know that that's.
You were probably sitting there waiting to see what was going to happen again, and she would notice it. That's what I would have done. I would have
it was almost like it almost knew that because I was just going to sleep. I was so tired, and Amy went out of the room, and it's almost knew that Amy had left, and the door had shut, and it did it. It was so weird.
Well, you've opened yourself up to these dolls, and you did sprinkle a load of
holy water on them.
Holy water on them.
On
So
the
what do you
evil.
expect?
Yeah, that was an interesting one. You missed that one, Rick. That was we had a lot of activity on this one particular show from the dolls, and then Tom decided it would be a good idea to sprinkle holy water on the doll.
Maybe you should
On the evil ones.
Well, I got 2 points here. The thing behind you looks like a person being burnt at the stake.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
No, it really does.
I'll turn the light on 2 seconds. There he is. There you go.
It is a guy being burned at the stake.
Yeah. That's the same lights on or off.
Yeah, it does.
I'll see them tip back on.
See if you can turn it back on.
It was Amy with a Nerf gun.
No,
She
that
missed
thing's going
twice.
crazy, dude.
I haven't even twisted it. You have to twist it to turn it on. I'll just pick it
Right,
up.
yeah.
Well, it's the same principle as the flashlight. It doesn't make the connection, and the spirits use the energy to make that connection. It was going off also. That was very interesting.
Well, actually, I have to tell you, that's been really debunked many times. The flashlight. They had a electrical engineer on one time, and he was saying, here's the way this works. If you push it to the right way, it's always trying to make a connection. And it will actually jump the little thing, because it's only it's not very far. And it will make a connection to light up the light. But once it makes a connection.
Wow, that just made my fun go very soft.
Yeah. And then once it does have the connection, it loses the connection because it can't sustain that distance.
Okay.
So, I mean, he explained it very well. And he showed it. He goes, watch. Right? He says, it'll go off. He says, you don't have to say anything, just watch. And it went off. And he says, now we'll just leave it for a little bit. And when it can't generate enough, it'll turn off. Okay. So if you really wanted to fake some stuff, not saying you would, but if anybody wanted to, if you played with it at home and found out how long it took for it to turn off, you could ask the question just at the perfect time to make it look really wonderful.
Marty, you son of a bitch.
Trust me, that video of two flashlights at the same time on the driveway when I asked the question and they both came on, one right after the other. Yeah. And when I asked them to shut off, they both shut off, one right after the other.
Did you unscrew the back cap?
No.
No, okay, then that's a totally different story.
Yeah. Right. I'd have to show you the video. It's obviously too late in the show to do that, but
I mean, there is
the way I don't even have it with me. It's not even a back cap because the back cap comes off.
Hold on.
The back cap comes off. That's where you put the batteries in. So the flashlight that I have, you have to turn the head of it, to loosen that connection a little bit. But yeah, he's got one right there.
Well, that's a different story because that's not the same kind of kind of flashlight that he had been using.
Yeah, it's like a miniature mag light.
I have those.
Oh, this is one of those LED ones. This isn't going to work. It's not an incandescent. Sorry, Marty.
But this guy was like. Yeah, this guy was like one of the best electrical engineers around.
My father is a certified electrician, and he didn't believe it. And then I showed him the videos, and I've done certain things. And again, you're absolutely correct. with that, if you're asking a question and then it just happens to turn on at the right time, you can materialize that in your head. But there's been situations I've been in that make me think otherwise.
Later,
and
Pops.
The one in particular was the one on the driveway.
Yeah, if you've got that kind of thing where you don't have to untwist the back and make a little gap, and that's totally different. The ones that everybody uses,
you have to untwist the front.
Yeah, well, that's still in its same distance of connection because you have to turn it. So that's just like pressing a button to turn it on. So that's the same thing. So that's a good thing. All right, have I bored you guys enough? Everybody?
No, not at all. I'm actually kind of blown away that we're over an hour already, and it doesn't.
We could easily go on and on and on.
So what we usually do now, Rick, at the end of the show is we play a game called "What Do You Meme," and it is basically where you pull out. You know what memes are? You're not that old, so you know what memes are. Basically, they pull out a card, and you come up with a caption for it. They have cards that have pre-written captions on them that you can either choose for the picture, whatever. Schleps like us have to use our imagination or just be absolutely filthy or use Cards Against Humanity answers. Rick, if you would like to be a part of this, we would love it. You can get as offensive as you want. If you are easily offended, now is the time of the show where you should get unoffended or get the fuck out. So are you in, Mr. McCallum, or would you like to?
I am in. I'm hard to offend, so go ahead.
Yeah, let's do this. This is going to be What Do You Meme? Wow, this is going to be great with Rick. All right. So we're going to hang on a second there. I'll let them get a second to get prepared. I will be right back, and we'll get right into this. Marty, take over for me.
Have you lost the game?
Right.
Oh, we need that music, don't we? When we're having
I've got some
okay,
pictures.
now we're going to play the music again?
Yeah,
we don't need the porn music.
We do need
the porn music.
Hey, just talk to me. That's all.
Yeah, because
I'm here all by myself.
When we typically, we haven't done this in a while, but when we play this game, we just stay softly, put on what we call porn music in the background to just kind of set the mood for these questions.
Explain it a little bit more, Marty.
I said it clearly as I think I did. I mean,
there was this girl that used to work out at my gym, and she used to come over all the time just to bust my chops because she knew she'd get a smart ass answer.
Yes.
And she came over with her little girlfriends, and she comes up to me, and I was on the treadmill, and she goes, "I watched the porno last night, right?" And I went, "I saw it." And she goes, "I didn't tell you the name of it." I said, "You don't have to. I saw it." It doesn't matter which one you're not. I've seen every one ever made.
Oh, right, got it.
Did you find it?
Found it. Yes.
You sound like you're out of breath.
Short-term memory loss.
One room. Don't you go to the gym? Why does it sound like you're out of breath from like going back and forth in that one room?
It's been a long day.
He has a really, really big house.
Yeah.
It's quite big.
There's a quarter mile to the back part where the thing was. He had to...
Look at that. Right. How are we doing this? Who's doing what? Who's doing the pictures?
Let me do the first picture. I've got a good.
You want to do the first one?
Go on, then. You do the picture, Kerry. So we put just a random phrase to this, or what picture? Okay.
Yeah, so Rick, you just got to think of a caption for
just think of a caption for it that would make a good meme.
They should never have taken this. Let me see Kerry.
That's true.
I'm gonna go with I fucking told them this was gonna happen.
Too easy.
Yeah, that was my high school nickname, actually.
I just
Wait a minute,
got
that was my
finished watching.
girlfriend's nickname.
Jeremy, what's up, buddy? Thanks for watching, brother.
I just got finished watching Firestarter with my mom.
That's a
Nice.
good one. I like it.
Let's see. Tui says, "Room's clean now, Mom." That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Is that Jeremy? Is that Jeremy York by any
It is
chance?
Jeremy York.
Yeah.
That's where it is.
Jeremy, you better come up with an update for me pretty soon, buddy.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Dude, we're not Jeremy.
We're not even on the network, and we're bossing Jeremy around.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy. Jeremy's
Jeremy's a friend of mine.
Jeremy's a solid individual.
I actually
Jeremy,
caught, I
what do you
think,
reckon?
Adam, you were there too. We caught the show you were on with Nick.
The one I was on,
Nick
on
Mulay.
Don's show?
No.
Oh.
You and I caught the show when Rick was on with Nick.
Oh, when
Mulay.
Rick was on it with you, Nick.
And then Nick was on our show last week.
Yeah, yep.
He was moonlighting then. I was like, oh, traitor.
I was drunk and they were talking about Creep Show, so I put on a Jason Pinhead mask and talked horror.
I still have to go back and watch that because I didn't even know you were on that night until you told me.
Yeah, nobody did.
What
Actually, by the way,
say?
I actually did get to see the Pinhead mask and everything else because
you
Kane
did?
and I ghost hunted Clive Barker's house.
Wait, whoa, what the fuck? What? You went ghost hunting at Clive Barker's house?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Uh-oh.
How was that?
Adam, you need to save your money and get a plane ticket to California. Go hang out with Rick for a week.
Rick would want to hang out with you. If I showed up at Rick's house, he'd call the cops. They're talking about aluminum siding.
No, that's if you showed up at my house.
Bring some samples of aluminum siding. We'll talk.
We'll do the siding thing, Rick. See, that's what I'm talking about. We'll talk.
There you go.
Fucking, you guys don't think me and Rick are buddies? Fuck you, man.
I think I feel like a bit left out. Like Hefty's got a new BBF.
I don't have a BB. I have a guy who.
Okay, so really quick, I did want to bring this up earlier, but Rick, you've worked with Ghost Adventures, so you have met Zach Bagans, correct?
Yes.
That is Kerry's.
Kerry is so moist right now.
Oh yeah, dude, she's like melting in her couch right now.
Yeah.
What was it like working with Zach Bagans?
Don't ruin my dreams, Rick. Don't ruin my dreams.
Snail trail on her couch.
Actually, I like Zach Bagans a lot, and
so does Kerry.
I do. Well, I don't like him like that.
If you do, it's okay if you do.
You know, no judgments.
None.
But anyway, no, he's actually a really nice guy. He also produced a movie called Sympathy Said the Shark, and I stunt coordinated it for him. And
really?
I used to have a magazine, Hollywood Ghost Hunter magazine, and he was the first person that I interviewed for the magazine. So
no shit. That's
but
cool.
Zach, I will tell you, it was about 2,500 words, I think, would be a guess, 2,000 words, the interview. And I sent it back to him. I said, anything you want to change? And he changed like 2 things, and he sent it back within 5 minutes.
Wow.
So this guy is smart. I mean,
and
he was the whole thing, figured out what he wanted changed. Yeah. And he's actually really nice, you know. And I'll give you a behind the scenes story about Zach. I don't think he would mind me saying this one.
I don't suppose you've got his contact.
Oh, Kerry's like going.
I also don't think he watches this show, Rick. So I'm pretty sure
you're okay. Never watch his shows.
Questions for this, bro.
No, this was pretty cool. When I was only worked on his movie one day. There was only one day of stunts, and we were at a house, and the holding room was in the garage. And when I went in there, I explained to them the stunt coordinator. I don't think they knew that I knew Zach, right? And this one guy saying, yeah, you've worked for Zach for a while now. He says, what's it like? He goes, oh, he really makes me mad, right? So I'm listening. I'm not saying a word. And he goes, well, how does he make you mad? He goes, well, he'll send me out for stuff. And then at the end of the week, I'll ask him, say, hey, Zach, I bought this stuff. Can I get paid back? And he'd be like, he'd send him out for a burger or,
Oh, yeah.
And so he said, Zach would pull out of his pocket a bunch of hundreds. And he says, he'd say, give him like $300. He goes, will this cover it? Right? And he goes, well, yeah. Okay, good. Right? I was like, that son of a bitch. Who can do it?
Right. Fuck,
I want like $40 and Zach's giving him a fistful of hundreds.
You know how much we make?
Nothing. And I looked at him and I just went, boy, I don't know how you put up with that bastard.
Yeah, what a son of a bitch. Yeah.
So he's actually a very nice guy.
Do you have his contact details?
Kerry
No shot, really?
Don't know. We did.
We would love to get him on the show if it was like.
Okay, so here.
Rick, I'm sorry.
Can I tell you that I think that the chances of him being on anybody's show, just like Kane, is probably zero.
No. That's what I was saying. Why don't you give me Kane's information too, so I can ask him why he doesn't show people?
Adam, I'm going to take a page out of your book.
Or not?
Oh yeah.
Adam, I'm going to take a page out of your book right now. Remember that video that was sent to you the other day?
So that was Zach.
If Rick could do that for Kerry, a message directly from Zach to be posted on her TikTok or Instagram or something like that, just as a hey, Kerry, Rick was on the show.
I got my friend was at a con, got a thing from CJ Graham for me. I had COVID. I just got over COVID. on Wednesday. I'd had it for about a week. And my friend who lives in South Dakota went to a con, and she got CJ Graham to do a video. Now, initially, the guy at the booth told her he wouldn't do a video, but she explained that we had met through Friday the 13th, the game. I'm a very big Friday. I have a Part 6 mask on my wall over there. I'm a very big horror fan. So he ended up agreeing to do this video. And I think that's what Marty is talking. That's what you're talking about, Marty. Yeah. Okay.
So if there's any way in general that you could get in touch with him, obviously we don't need the contact details, but if you can get a video of Zach sending Kerry a message, a personal message, that would mean everything to her. 100%.
I would love to do it, but I have not talked to Zach probably for about 7 or 8 years now.
Yeah, and that's one of the things where it's like, hey, dude, that I haven't talked to in like a decade, but would you do this real small video for this chick who is?
You never know.
I would love to do it, but like I say, we're not that close. I mean, I know him. He knows me, but I don't know him well enough to call him up and ask him for favors.
Well, yeah.
No,
I get it. I just.
Well,
I was just throwing the ball in the court and see what happens.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, Marty, I love you forever.
Go to Vegas. Go to his museum. He goes there a lot.
I know. One day.
Kerry be camped outside. Like,
yeah, no shit. She'd probably be staying in one of the rooms.
Yeah.
She'll actually have a motorhome out there with Zach Megan's fan club.
Dude, she's not even going to go to his freaking museum. She'll go to his freaking house. She'll be camped right in the driveway.
Hello. Hello, Zach Megan.
Well, like I say, he's a pretty nice guy, and he's very, very smart. I think people underestimate how really smart he is.
Well, he's done.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have got where he was.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
Idiot.
I have to put in a plug for my buddy. Who's extraordinarily smart is Kane.
Yeah.
Hotter?
Yeah, Kane is extraordinarily smart. Yeah.
He's never going to hear this. So what do I care?
Actually, I believe he's a member of Mensa. I mean,
is he really?
Yeah. I remember doing a movie with him and Bill, and Bill went to Yale, right? And they were talking, and I was like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
Oh, wait, are you talking about Mosley?
Yeah.
Wait, Mosley went to Yale?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, he's very.
No shit. Yeah, no, he's very articulate. The thing that and by the way, if nobody has seen it, there's an awesome documentary on Kane Hodder called "To Hell and Back: The Kane Hodder Story." Please fucking watch that. It's absolutely amazing.
It is. It's a great documentary.
And the guy has been through so much, and he's such. He seems like a really nice dude. He seems like a very highly intelligent dude. I agree with you, Rick. I mean, you obviously know him better than I do. But he seems like one of those really just solid individuals. So if you get a chance to go see that, please go watch that.
Not to mention, if you look at the type of people who are endorsing him in the movie.
Yeah. I
mean, there's some pretty heavy hitters in there,
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, but he's been around. The dude has, an incredible, and this isn't all about Kane. Kane's a cool dude, apparently. Rick, I know you. You're a cool dude, and I can say that about you and not Kane because I've never spoken to Kane, but I believe you when you say Kane is a nice guy. And like I said, with RA, there was a friend of the family's named Molly, who RA knew their family. And I'm going to have to dig it up. I have a picture of RA with the daughter Molly, and I got to find it so I can know. T-Bone, if you're still in the chat, if you remember Molly's last name, throw it in the chat real quick. But I asked, and apparently RA was a really sweet guy, very big guy. And that seems to be a thing with us big dudes, is we look very imposing, but we're really nice people.
Well, I have to tell you a story about RA, and I lowered my camera just so you can see what he did.
Okay. I thought you were going to go shirtless. I was like, here we go.
Nobody needs to see that. But we were in this restaurant, and there were these two girls next to us, and he looks over and he goes, "Hey, do either one of you have a car? Yeah, I have an emergency." And he goes, and the girl goes, "What's the emergency?" He goes, "I have to get to the vet right away." The girl, now that animals are involved, they're really interested. They said, "Well, what's the matter?" And he goes like this. He goes, "These pythons are sick."
Good God. I thought he was going to say, I need a lift to the gun show, baby.
Yeah, right.
And Wesson.
You know.
Yeah, these pythons are sick. Yeah. One thing about RA, when you go ghost hunting with him, he is an older individual, and it being dark and all, we let him go into a room, to investigate, and then you can hear him snoring about 10 minutes later.
It's like a chainsaw.
I hear noises. It's RA.
It's RA. He's out. Just let him go.
Yeah, we wake him up and he goes like this. I was just ghost hunting on a different plane.
Yeah. He was doing the astral projection portion of that. But unfortunately, I do believe we are running up on time.
It's good because I'm almost out of Crystal Light. So,
Crystal Light. Oh, okay. Damn, bro.
I didn't get to do my answer.
It's good to you.
Wait. Amy, do it.
No, you don't do yours either.
Did anybody do them?
Oh, yeah.
Where's the picture good? Hold on.
Kerry's got the picture now.
Here we go. Back to it.
All right, back to it.
When you hear your parents having passionate intercourse.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Marty's candles caught on fire.
Yeah. No, everybody left the house, dude. We're good, but I didn't want to hear that shit either.
Marty's got solo candles he burns when he jerks off. That's insane.
Wow, dude.
That's very good.
Listen, bro, that's what my house
looks like. It just makes me really curious how you would know that.
I help him. I like the candles. I like the candles for him. His other hand's busy. So,
Now that's a friend.
Thank you. See, Rick gets it. Thanks, Rick.
I was at a convention. I'll tell you this real quick. I was up on the stage and somebody said, "How long have you known Kane?" I said, "About 40 years." And they go, "Wow, you must know where the Brodies are buried." I said, "Of course I do. I buried them."
Yeah, who do you think does it? Kane doesn't do his own work.
Yeah, come on, man.
What do you got, Tom?
Mine wasn't very good. This is when your wife gives birth to an Asian baby, but neither of you are Asian.
All right. I might have to give it to Tom on that one.
Oh, fucking up what we got. We're gonna smash one more quick, and then
we got one more real quick. And
yeah,
then
we'll
get out of here. All right.
Go on then, Kerry. You use another picture then, Kerry. We'll do one real quick, and then we'll get off.
Okay, you ready for this one? This one's funny.
Oh
no!
God.
Oh yeah!
Oh no!
There we go.
Oh yeah!
Oh no!
Oh, hell
we have the music, Aim.
Yeah!
Oh,
yes!
We don't need the music.
I got the perfect one.
Oh yeah!
The antidote to the 4-hour erection with Viagra.
Ah, there it is! My grandmother.
Kerry, I love the fact that you're zooming in and out and making it dance across the screen with the music. Yeah.
My grandmother's Tinder profile picture.
Fucking hell.
And she's dead.
How many people think that the guy who did the Viagra ad isn't a genius?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about this. A side effect is you have an erection for 4 hours. Oh, my goodness. What a horrible idea.
Yeah, I know.
And then it says seek medical assistance. Nurses.
Yeah, nurses. Hello, nurse.
Ladies, can you give me a hand with that?
Sorry, no. Give me a hand.
Thank you for recognizing that, yes.
What do you got, Rick? You got something? Oh, we already got it, didn't we?
The actual antidote for the 4-hour erection.
Martin, what do you got, buddy?
A salty surprise.
Oh, Dad. Oh, boy.
Oh,
all right.
No.
Oh, boy. Amy, what do you got?
What?
I have one thing. Yeah, hang on. Sorry.
Okay. Are you ready? Are we just going to have Kerry do this?
I'm sure with that. Hang on, where's it gone? When you're 3 Ribenas deep and feel your inner hoe starting to come out.
That's gotta be an England thing, dude. I have no idea what that means.
Ribena, so juice, like juice.
Okay, let's move on, Amy. Really?
I can't watch that thing moving around anymore.
Wait, it's freaking me out too. It's so weird.
I was going to just look at Marty, but that wasn't any better.
Oh, look at that. Ooh, take that, Sawyer.
Kerry.
I haven't got anything.
Why would you take the pretty face and put that face over it and expect us to keep wanting to see it?
Dude, you have
me
no
too,
idea how
it's
twisted
fun.
this woman is.
Yeah, Kerry, you should see her cock. It's enormous. What?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, no, Rick, I get it.
It's fine. I didn't have one.
You don't have one?
I didn't have one.
She had bad cards.
Pick another one.
Some of these cards in here aren't very good. They're like really shit.
Pull from the Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, true.
They're so much worse and better than the other ones.
Go for that one. Go for that. Go for that. Put that one on.
Is there kids round?
No, there's no kids. Don't worry about it. Just put it on.
You're good.
Just put it on.
When you're hitting it raw and she says, "Come inside me, daddy."
Yeah, that's the best answer for that one.
Oh shit!
Really?
Oh my
Tom?
God.
Yeah, I'm voting for that answer.
Rick's never coming back. He's like, yeah, fuck this show.
No, I'm just kind of wondering, looking up at all the stuff that Adam has on, if he's actually got a part-time job landing airplanes.
No, I wish. No, I don't. I have an old school headset.
Looked like you were doing the half-ass Macarena.
Oh, it's because I was trying not to snort and laugh into my microphone.
All right, I'm going to say one thing to leave you. I was getting on an airplane, and there was this woman that was just really upset. She was really scared, right? And she said, "I don't want to go on the plane. I want to get." And I just looked. I said, "Ma'am," and she's going, "I should have been on the train." I said, "Ma'am." She goes, "Yeah." I said, "My uncle got killed in a train wreck," right? And she goes, "Oh, what happened?" I went, "Plane fell on it."
No shit, dude.
It was the damnedest thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Fuck it up.
So is that all the time we have?
Oh,
for this
wait a
week?
minute. I have to get something off my wall here.
Is it Zach's telephone number?
No, it's not Kerry. Shit, dude. I knew something.
Oh shit!
No, but
Oh,
it's
Thanks
fine.
for having us.
Kerry, look.
Awesome.
What is
Thanks
it?
for-
Oh my
Signed
God!
autograph from freaking Zach and that.
Oh, just look how gorgeous he is.
Oh, Dave, you're going to be getting some sweet action for your birthday throw tonight. Buckle
Well,
up, Dave.
You know what's going to happen? I've got all these really great autograph things. I'm going to come in here tonight, and my Zach Bagans is going to be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come and nicked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
They're
gonna
just going to take their
Possibly
psychic powers and
red.
steal that shit off the wall.
Oh,
Actually, they gave us these when we were leaving from the movie, from doing the TV show.
That's actually pretty cool, man.
that's really
That is
awesome.
cool.
Crazy.
That is awesome.
There you go,
These
Kerry.
little things in it. These little things you don't see actually on the shows
Mm.
make the people. That's cool. That is cool.
Well, Kane did choke Zach on the show, so that was always a good one.
Well, that was behind the scenes. We don't want to talk
No,
about
that was on. It was on stream. when he did it.
Oh, sure. Sorry. Oh, boy. Ow.
Yeah, he said, "Do you ever think that being all those horror movies you did that you might just snap?" And Kane goes, "Bam!" He's going,
Oh, he didn't do the hand. He did
Oh,
the, he
I've
did
seen
the,
that.
no,
oh,
and he's just sitting there and he's talking. He goes, "Yeah, sometimes I just get so fired up. I just."
yeah,
Oh.
Kane's got, and you said he doesn't do that anymore.
He doesn't.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rick, give him my number. If he wants to explain to me why he doesn't do it anymore, I'd be more than happy to take his call.
Okay. That's not where I thought that was
Okay,
going.
so now I have to get Zach to call. I got to get Kane to call. Marty, who do you want? Anybody? Farrah Fawcett?
No, dude. Call Zach for Kerry. 100%.
Give me a ring.
100.
If I knew him better, I would.
I'll tell you what. You give me his number and I'll call him. He's not going to. Just saying. I'll do whatever I can.
I want you to
Oh, you're the best friend ever.
have a good time on this show, man, which hopefully you had, because I know we all have, bro.
Yeah.
And
Well, I've had a very good time, and thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely.
always welcome back, man. If you would be willing to come back, words are tough. If you'd be willing to come back, we would be more than happy to have you. I'm going to speak for Top because it's their show.
Well, hopefully by the time I get back, I'll have gotten my oil changed.
Oh my God, I was
Yeah.
up so late, Rick. Worried about that. I'm not up late, worried about that at
I
all.
mean, if I'm not driving the car, I can't be doing anything bad to it.
Right. That's true.
It's been a pleasure, Rick. Thank you so much for coming on. Like it's
Yes, sir.
Anytime, guys. I had a great
we are
time.
honoured to have somebody of your caliber on our show. We're just some random people from England. To have you on our show is amazing. So thank you so
I love
much.
England, actually. You know, just a little side, John Wilkes, my relative, was actually the Lord Mayor of London, and he was also a member of Parliament.
Holy shit.
Wow.
You should hear, I'm telling you, man, some of the shit, like, Rick has all these stories I can't even go into. The Carmine one, Rick, is the one that I was just like, I couldn't stop thinking about that. I thought that was
Carmen.
I apologize. I don't want to get yelled at again.
Or choked out, one of the two.
There was no more choked out. But everybody go check everything out Rick has been in. Follow him on Facebook, all his social media stuff. Buy his books on Amazon. For the love of God, this dude can turn How Are You into a mini series.
By the way, this isn't a commercial, but I just want people to know that if you buy the book on Amazon, I actually donate the money to St. Jude Hospital.
Yeah, you've done that with all your books. I think you mentioned that in the last show. Like all the revenue and stuff from your books and stuff goes to St. Jude's.
The T-shirts too.
Yeah.
If I buy one, can I get it signed? Or are we not at that level yet?
Well, I guess.
No.
Sign it with Zach's number.
Kerry's gonna buy the shirt. She doesn't want your signature. She wants Zach's phone number plastered across it.
Did you guys ever think that Zach and I might be friends because I don't do that?
Probably, yeah.
Worth a try.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
This doesn't have to be on the air or anything. My friend who was the manager of the Real Mary King's Close was a huge Kane Hodder fan. And he took, he set all this ghost hunting stuff up for me. He goes, "Can you do me a favor, you think?" And I said, "What's that?" And he goes, "Can you get Kane to sign these 3 things from Hatchet?" I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Right? So, and I was telling Kane, I said, "Yeah, this guy got me in there and everything else." And I said, "Yeah, he even bought me haggis and black pudding." And I said, he goes, "What's that like?" I said, "Haggis is like eating dirt with extra dirt on it."
Oh, yeah.
Black pudding was worse.
Absolutely.
Right? So anyway, Kane is sitting there, and I videotaped him signing these things so that my friend could verify that he signed it.
Right.
And he's signing it, and he looks up and he goes, "So I'm signing 3 of these, and the best you could do for my buddy Rick is feed him fucking haggis."
Look, if you're ever in my neck of the woods, man, you come see me at work, and we'll talk, brother. I'll fucking hit you off, lovely, buddy. If you're ever in the Albany area, because
I will eat my own body weight in steak.
I will cook it for you.
Casabasso,
Making sandwiches.
Hamptons, go there.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
we didn't even get to get into that story, but that was oh man.
Yeah,
Please come back.
I can't turn hello into a mini series. There's no doubt about that.
I love it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
And I'm not rushing off, but I did drink these 2 big things of.
I'll go, man. That's what I had to go do when we started the game. Man. This beer doesn't just go nowhere,
And, I'm an older feller, and my kidneys are not as good as they used to be.
Well, you need a new knee. So,
by the way, I'm going to drop a name, seeing as we're not on the air anymore.
Yes, we are.
Well, I'll tell you.
You know what? Yeah, but anyway, let's go. Yeah, we're totally not on there.
When I was on, my friend Buddy Van Horn was Clint Eastwood's stunt coordinator, and he got me on J. Edgar. And Clint comes over to tell me and another guy what to do, right? And Buddy comes over and he puts his arm around my shoulder. He goes, "Clint, this is a friend of mine. I've known him a long time, and he's been around a long time." And Clint looks at me and he goes, "Been around a long time, have you?" And I went, "No, this isn't paint."
Yeah, right.
So, yes, I am a jerk off with everybody.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's clean or not.
All right, guys, I'll see you.
Rick, thank you so much, buddy.
If I run into Zach somewhere, Kerry, I will wrestle him to the ground for you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes,
Thank you. Talking to England.
Give you a ring this weekend, Rick.
Drop him off halfway.
Yeah, sure.
I'll hit you up on Facebook, but thank you so much, Mr. McCallum.
Right, you can call me. You got my number. See you guys.
Thank you, Rick. Bye, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Later, brother.
Right.
All right.
What a guy.
What a guy. So yeah, thank you all for watching anyway. Next week.
There's something.
That's what we're on about now. Next show, Zach Bacon, special guest. Just kidding.
We did run over. Do apologize to everybody if you wanted to get off or anything, but I think there's just reason to run over. Like that guy is fucking incredible.
100%.
Yeah, love you all. We will see you next week. Take it steady. Have a good weekend. See you later.
Stay spooky.
There it is.
See you later, guys.